Let me tell you, if you told me a year ago I'd be dragged out of my own driveway by 3 squad cars and a Bentley, I'd have laughed you straight off the internet. But that's exactly how my story begins. A story about power greed and the kind of HOA president who makes your worst nightmares look like amateur hour. Picture this. I'm dragging my last cardboard box across the driveway, the asphalt shimmering in desert heat when suddenly the sirens start. 3 cruisers' lights blazing screech up like it's a drug bust. Officers pile out hands hovering over their holsters. And behind them, yeah, this is real, a pearl white. Bentley rolls up and out. Steps Cordelia Blackthorne in a pink blazer so blinding it probably has its own zip code. She points at me like she's Moses parting the Red Sea and yells, "That's him. Officers arrest him for trespassing. You want to welcome to the neighborhood? Try that for a housewarming." My brand new 4-bedroom Spanish colonial, which I bought at auction for what should have been a steal, suddenly felt less like a new start and more like a trap. Cordelia, president of the HOA, was coming for blood, waving a manila folder like she had the nuclear codes. The youngest officer, sweat pouring down his face, asked, "Sir, we need you to explain your presence here. Multiple witnesses say you've been illegally occupying this property and the attached Oasis grounds." Now, the best part, half the neighborhood was filming the whole circus from behind their curtains, probably already writing up their Facebook posts. I felt the sun baking into my neck, the taste of dust and desperation thick in the air. But see, Cordelia had no idea what she was up against or what I had in that moving box. Buried under a mess of kitchen gadgets was a document from 1947, the reason my slice of desert paradise went for pennies at auction, and why I was the only bidder. That paper didn't just say, "Congrats, you're a homeowner." It said my oasis wasn't just pretty landscaping. With natural springs hidden underneath was a master control station for the entire neighborhood's power grid, a leftover from some top-secret government project. With the flip of a single switch, I could black out 847 homes. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up a sec. 6 months earlier, my life was a wreck. Picture me, Caspian Drexler, stuck in a courtroom watching Tesla's legal team squirm as the judge handed down an $8.5 million settlement. After they stole my patent, fired me, and then spent years gaslighting me through lawsuits, I finally won. The victory was bittersweet. My marriage was over, my ex took the house, the car, and our friends, but not a dime of that settlement. I wanted a clean slate. That's when I spotted the listing for Desert Serenity Estates, 4 bedrooms, 2 acres of lush oasis, and a starting bid that was suspiciously low. The auction was a ghost town. Just me, an attorney who looked like he was being kept alive by formaldehyde, and a stack of paperwork thicker than my last 3 heartbreaks. He warned me, "This place comes with obligations, historical federal ones. You'll understand soon." I figured he was just being dramatic, but he slid me 2 keys, one for the house, one that looked like it belonged to Al Capone's safe. As I drove my U-Haul through miles of nothing but cacti and dead cell service, I found the development a beige mirage of 847 perfect little homes, all arranged like suburban crop circles. But my place exploded with green, palm trees, desert willows, actual running water. It felt unreal. I'd barely started to unload before I heard the sharp click of heels on concrete. Cordelia, looking like she just walked off a Real Housewives set, appeared, flanked by 2 pastel-clad sidekicks. "We need to discuss your acquisition of this property immediately," she barked. "Zero pleasantries. This oasis is a community asset." I just laughed. "It's on my deed." But she whipped out a suspicious document, the Desert Serenity Oasis Covenant of 2001. Instantly, I spotted the fake's wrong font copyright from 2015, all the red flags. I told her as much, and when I mentioned my 10 years as an electrical engineer, her expression froze tighter than her Botox. She threatened, "You have 72 hours to reconsider. After that, things can get very uncomfortable." On her way out, she accidentally dropped a business card for Desert Serenity Wellness Retreat CEO Cordelia Blackthorne. Her Oasis. Turns out it was actually my backyard. That night I checked the website. Cordelia was running a luxury wellness scam charging $500 a head for exclusive desert meditation, raking in thousands from my springs. Instagram was full of influencers, yoga classes, even something called desert rebirthing all over my property. The next morning, the HOA attack started. I woke up to a $50 fine for my U-Haul improperly parked bumper sticking out 2 inches. By lunch, I got dinged for a potted plant, then fined $100 for excessive noise unloading boxes at 8 p.m. The parade of county inspectors started electrical water fire, all apologetic, all forced out by anonymous complaints. They found nothing, but they all said the same thing. This keeps happening. Someone's gaming the system. Day 3. It got ugly. My mail was rifled, my water shut off for maintenance, and when I finally got a shower working again, my elderly neighbor shuffled over. "You're the new owner of Blackstone Place, huh?" he said, introducing himself as Solomon. He warned me Cordelia's been driving people out for years, snapping up properties with her husband, a shady real estate developer. My place. The crown jewel. Everyone knew there was something special about it, a story tied to secret military projects. Solomon leaned in, whispered, "This community's never had a power outage. Not in storms, not ever. And Harrison Blackstone, the last owner, used to joke he could shut down the neighborhood with a single switch." That night I started searching. The garage was deeper than it looked, and after shifting some heavy shelves, I found a secret door. The old key slid right in, and I went down a staircase into a concrete bunker straight out of a Cold War movie. There it was, electrical panels labeled for every street, a master breaker, and logbooks in Blackstone's handwriting. He'd been tracking a government program, Desert Power Initiative, funded since 1947. The HOA had collected $200 a month from every house for maintenance, over $40 million, while the federal government actually paid the bills. Cordelia's entire empire was built on a lie, and I had the receipts. The next morning, an attorney named Luna Park showed up young sharp with her own score to settle against Cordelia. She showed me a spreadsheet. 23 families pushed out $31 million in stolen properties, all with unique features: springs, mineral rights infrastructure. "But you're different," she said. "You have proof. You have leverage. Are you ready to bring her down?" I told her everything, including the control room and the federal power grid. Luna's eyes sparkled. "We're not just going to beat Cordelia. We're going to destroy her." As we built our case, Cordelia's attacks hit fever pitch. 17 violation notices in 3 days. My favorite was unauthorized photosynthesis. Apparently my Oasis was producing too much oxygen. Fines, liens, slashed tires, even a dead coyote left on my porch. I reported it, but the sheriff just shrugged. "Maybe you should move." But Cordelia messed up. She sent a letter admitting knowledge of the whole scheme. Luna lit up. "That's consciousness of guilt. Wire fraud, racketeering, she's finished." The night of the HOA meeting, I came prepared. The place was packed. Cordelia at the podium in a suit worth more than my U-Haul. She made her pitch, $5,000 per household to build a legal war chest to fight me, the outsider. I stood up, laptop in hand. "What if I told you you've been paying $200 a month for 20 years for electricity the feds already pay for? That's $40 million for nothing." Murmurs turned to shouts. Then I showed them Cordelia's wellness retreat, the fake fines, the master control room. I demonstrated, cut the power to the meeting room with a tap on my phone, brought it back 10 seconds later. "You want to give Cordelia more money, or do you want to call the FBI? The vote was swift. Cordelia and her board gone. But she didn't go quietly. 2 days later, someone tossed military-grade smoke grenades through my window at 3 a.m. The fire department found evidence of sabotage, and Cordelia toasted me from her lawn in a silk robe, sipping wine as if daring me to fight back. That's when I called in a favor from Marcus Rivera at the FBI's Energy Crimes Division. Once he saw the documents, federal grid military contracts, proof that Cordelia's father sold secrets to developers, he brought the full force of the law. Cordelia and her crew were arrested screaming about their connections as Rivera read out charges, wire fraud, racketeering, even accessory to espionage. Turns out she wasn't just a greedy HOA president, she'd inherited a criminal empire. The FBI's investigation uncovered a mountain of crimes: cryptocurrency mining, luxury vacations on HOA, money laundering through the wellness retreat, even ties to a cartel. The community got every stolen cent back, average refunds of $48,000, some as high as $60K. The power grid was officially transferred to a community trust free forever, and the neighborhood came alive with celebration. Cordelia, 22 years, no parole. Her husband went down for bank fraud. Her brother ran to Costa Rica, her empire in ruins. I married Luna by the springs in front of neighbors who finally felt safe. Solomon officiated. We called our first kid Harrison after the old man who kept the lights on. Now, every time I flip a switch in the old bunker, I remember what it cost to bring down someone like Cordelia. She sent me one last letter: I should have burned your house down when I had the chance. I framed it next to the master switch, a reminder that evil sometimes comes wrapped in pink blazers and Bentleys. But it only takes one person brave enough to flip the switch and set a community free. So here's my question for you. If your HOA president turned out to be running a $40 million fraud, would you fight back or would you run? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you believe power belongs to the people, not the bullies, go ahead and share your story. Because sometimes justice isn't just a word. It's the moment the lights come on and the nightmare ends.